against all the evil that hell can conjure, all the wickedness that mankind can produce, we will send unto them only you. Rip and tear until it is done.
Thank you for being willing to serve the public interest tonight. My name is Chris Lamarche. My family and I are the owners of the building northwest corner of Algonquin and Cedar, just across from the street from City Hall. A property my father bought in 1984, properties that were fully occupied for decades until Living Space opened. We came here tonight to voice our concerns and to ask you to pay attention to what is happening in our once beautiful city. I could go on all night about the issues we've faced over the past 7 years. Long-standing commercial tenants moving out because their staff didn't feel safe. AC units being damaged. People shooting up between our buildings. Having to build a $15,000 wall to keep people out from doing drugs between our building. Recently, a break-in where they ripped out the window, closed our water, closed our gas, ripped every single water line out of our basement, and stole tools and other construction materials. I ask that each of you look outside your window when you go to work, or as you're walking to work, or going home, going for lunch. This is something that we deal with every day. It's affecting our financials, it's affecting our families. You can't just keep turning away. It's nice to help people, but when it's affecting the taxpayers and the people who are trying to help them, we're getting nowhere. We're feeding the bear. So far, we've lost over $200,000 worth of just revenue because nobody wants to rent from us. Because we're right next door to the old Living Space, now the safe injection site. What are you going to do for us, for the devaluation of our property, or the empty spaces that you guys no longer compensate on taxes for empty spaces? What do we do now?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks for coming to speak and tell your story and what you're dealing with at your property. The story you're sharing is not unique to yourself. We're hearing this from property owners, from business owners from across the city. So know that we hear you, and we hear everyone that has a similar story. We know that this is happening across the city and not just at that corner. My office looks out at your building, Chris. I know what you're dealing with. I know what you're speaking about. And that's exactly what we're trying to end here. We are trying to end chronic homelessness in the Cochrane District in the city of Timmins by 2025. We are trying to... I was under the impression that's what we wanted. We want to increase the supports and services available to people who are struggling from mental health and addiction issues.
But what about the taxpayers who are funding all this?
You have every right to ask that question. You're paying taxes and you want to see value for your money. And we want to make sure that we're delivering on that. We really do. Know that the funding that we are using in our homelessness prevention initiatives aren't coming from municipal dollars. And I know there's only one taxpayer. Harm reduction supplies, I'll address that question even though you didn't have the microphone, but harm reduction supply, that is being funded by provincial funding streams. Those are not municipal dollars. We, in our homelessness prevention initiatives, aren't coming from municipal dollars. And I know there's only one taxpayer. We are doing the best we can to make sure that the municipal dollars that you're paying are being spent on things like bylaw enforcement, are being spent on things like policing. That's what your tax dollars.
So why?
That's what your tax dollars.
So why can't the police do anything about it when we call them?
Wow. Okay. Did you guys hear that? That was some serious laughter.
Okay. We're going to move on to the next question. And I believe that is Dan.